Okay, Mr. Premier, I will continue in Albanian language. Thank you very much for this opportunity that you give to me as President of Kosovo to address this meeting. Sot jam jashtëzakonisht I privilegjuar Sot jam jashtëzakonisht I privilegjuar që jam në mesin e juaj pikërisht.
Today I'm very privileged to be here with you precisely on the day when we mark the 10th anniversary of the proclamation of the state of Kosovo. I had a great honor when on Sunday afternoon on February 17th, 2008, as Prime Minister of the government of Kosovo, and I read the Declaration of Independence of Kosovo. This declaration did not only define Kosovo's status. With us, as politicians and citizens of Kosovo, we confirmed that we were doing a state that would have genuine political and civic, liberal and democratic European values. A state that will aim to be an integral part of the North Atlantic Alliance and of the European Union. That could have not happened otherwise. Kosovo's liberation and independence are true European and Western values. There would be no liberation in the state of Kosovo without Kosovo's extraordinary partnership with the United States and with European Union. The state of Kosovo has since been recognized from 116 states. It has been managed to make progress in all possible directions, but for well-known reasons, the story about Kosovo has not been rounded up. We are not yet a member of the UN, while our journey to the EU is far too complicated. But the citizens of Kosovo now know what they want, and we, as leaders, we have no doubts what our direction should be as a state. Kosovo is the most pro-European, pro-American, and pro-Western state in the Balkans. We are proud of this fact. We are unique in Kosovo for this orientation, without any kind of ethnic divisions. But in Kosovo, in the last 10 years, we have faced the great consequences of the lack of the EU unity for the state of Kosovo. 23 EU member states have recognized Kosovo's independence, but 5 states are not. If there were a unity in the EU for Kosovo, as if the EU had spoken with one voice, with a stand for Kosovo, I'm convinced that the state of Kosovo would be a more sustainable and stable country. Also, I'm sure within the case it would be had full normal, also the Balkans as a region. Also, I'm sure that in this case, we would have full normalized relations with Serbia, which would be beneficial for Kosovo, Serbia, and the whole region. With an EU unity about Kosovo, with a greater EU determination to integrate the last 6 Western Balkan states into the EU, I'm convinced that today we would not have to deal with this subject, which links to the stagnations in the EU enlargement process with the obvious progress of the Russian factor in these parts of Europe. But let's look ahead and show a political and diplomatic determination that could exploit a new momentum that is being created in these parts of the Balkans, with the EU enlargement strategy announced just a few days later. In this context, we as Kosovo are committed to ending and to determine the dialogue with Serbia, to make the legally binding agreement with Kosovo and Serbia, which would enter into the unprecedented period in our common history, good neighborly relations and reconciliation, and even friendship in a common European future. We do not have time to lose, neither we nor Serbia. We in Kosovo won this year enriched the successful epilogue of this dialogue, which has been legally and which by legally binding agreement will be a tremendous achievement for us, for the whole region and for Europe as a whole. Kosovo is ready to take final step in this direction because we know that this great deal with Serbia will be the ultimate guarantee for the success of peace and stability in these parts of Europe. Moreover, this agreement will be the most European act in this region for years, if not longer. Thank you so much. Thank you for your attention.
So we'll have time for a couple questions, but let me start off first by congratulating you as the president who announced the independence of Kosovo on 10 years. I know that the American audience, we don't read so much on Kosovo, but the last big piece from the New York Times was not a great piece. A lot of corruption, low unemployment, a lot of big unemployment, a lot of young Kosovars leaving. Give us a better story. Tell us how Kosovo domestically is progressing after 10 years before the EU started.
Ne vlerësojmë çdo opinion të prezentuar për Kosovën, por them me përgjegjësi të plotë. Historia e Kosovës është histori e suksesit, edhe vendor, edhe ndërkombëtar. Edhe bashkimit, edhe vendor e Kosovës, edhe bashkimit evropian, edhe Shtetet e Bashkuara të Amerikës dhe vendeve tjera. Ne jemi njohur nga 160
The Kosovo is a story of success. It's a story of success, and the Kosovo has been recognized by 116 states. We continue with reforms in legislation and in different fields of society. We got membership in over 200 international organizations. We created good and neighborly relations with Macedonia, Albania, and also we have great and strategic relations with Montenegro. And at this time, as more than ever, we have a very constructive, and we are waiting for determination of the normalization of the relation between Kosovo and Serbia. And it's our commitment for peace in the region. In the 10 last years, we had economic growth about 4%. Kosovo was as a part of international community, especially in the rule of law, in the times of the United Nations. And in the last 10 years, we had also ULEX in Kosovo, and which had really an executive mandate on this. And I repeat, Kosovo, it's a success story, but it was also with different problems. And as I stated, if the EU was united in these statements, Kosovo would be more sustainable and prosperous. And that will be also a great benefit also for Kosovo to fulfill all the conditions. But the Kosovo is optimistic and in the right way. Faleminderit, Zoti President.
It is an extraordinary accomplishment. I wonder if you could give us an assessment of the situation in Mitrovica and the north of Kosovo, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your question.
The situation in the north of Mitrovica was not better as it is in the last 20 years. And it happened it happened due to the very good dialogue that we had and the agreement that we reached in 2013. between prime ministers. On that time was the Prime Minister Thaçi, and I was myself as the Prime Minister, and we agreed on that. And I respect and here and applaud the Baroness Ashton for her commitment here. Thank you, Lady Ashton. And now, in Mitrovica, we had a very complicated situation in the past, very tensions. Due to that agreement that we had, when we implemented that, we have our customs officers there, we have a multi-ethnic police officer there, and we have a multi-ethnic rule of law there. We have a free movement there, and we organized, for the first time, the free elections on that part of Kosovo. And this happened also in conform the constitution in Kosovo, and now we are free and we are respecting to each other, and that would be not happen without the dialogue between Kosovo and Serbia. It was not so easy. It was really hard. It was also for Serbia, but also for our responsibilities that we took. I know that you heard about the case of Ivanovic before a few days in Mitrovica, but this case did not have any kind of inter-ethnic relations, not on political issue, but this is only from the evidence, this is only from the criminals and mafia's issue. We asked also for information from Serbia, and I contacted also with President Vučić, and he came there and sent very constructive messages. You can imagine 4 or 5 years before, as that happened, that would be a mess between Albanians and Kosovars and Serbs. But now they are trusting on that. They are trusting on our dialogue that we are. And for the first time, we agreed on that with this dialogue. And the citizens there are willing much more to have dialogue, peace, prosperity, and the only way between Kosovo on the normalization of the relation between Kosovo and Serbia is the dialogue.
Please, Frank.
My phone is ringing.
You should definitely tell them to hold.
Maybe it's President Ahtisaari.
Mr. President, my apologies for that. Mr. Bremer, my apologies as well. Mr. President, I'd like to join Mr. Heinz, Mr. Bremer, and truly everyone in this room. The warmest congratulations on this very special day. 10 years, all of us who can look back and worked for the independence of your country can only take pleasure and pride in being with you today on this very special occasion. I'd also like to add a special note of thanks and congratulations to you for the role you've played, for your very able government and what it's accomplished. I noted particularly with pleasure the formation of a new commission to talk through matters related to your border with your neighbor in Montenegro, and wish you well with that. I think also all of us would cheer for you as you continue your work. It's slow and difficult towards long-term membership in the European Union and in NATO. That said, the future is what you're talking about today, and we're excited for you. And at the same time, there are about 30% of your young people who don't have jobs, and that is a hugely depressing fact on your future. As you look to the years ahead, what do you see as Kosovo's best chances for putting your young people to work, educating, skilling them, and getting them into the job market and giving them as much confidence in your future as I happen to have.
Përsëri falenderoj shumë nderuari ambasador Wisner për kontributin tuaj sepse ke qenë ekipin udhëheqëse për dialogun në procesin e Vienës.
Again, I would like to thank you, dear Ambassador Wisner, your contribution also with the President Al-Sishari and the Ambassador Ischinger and Ambassador Rohan. As I stated, we are aware of that we have a lot of, we have a lot of challenges ahead, and the Kosovo was discriminated also during the Yugoslav times. But we are working on it with the international community to continue with the necessary reforms. We have 26 or 27th of unemployment rate. But Kosovo is a young state with great opportunities. It has been created a very good investment opportunities. We have a lot of investments, especially in the energy field, and we are looking into the mines also from the United States and from the EU, who are willing then to invest in the free trade and economy in Kosovo, and also in the ski resorts that we have. But mostly, on what we trust is the Kosovo is a European state. Even we not have all the job done on papers, but we have invested a lot on education, and I'm really confident in that. At the moment that we become the visa-free movement, that would be also an opportunity for the young people of Kosovo who will not see the Kosovo as an isolated country. Before 2 days, we agreed also with the government and with the president of Montenegro on the case of demarcation, and that would be the honest way, and that will open the way of the visa-free movement for the young people of Kosovo. But also our internal commitment and the open of the European market, that will be a good opportunity for the youth of Kosovo. But what makes me much more proud is the optimism of the Kosovo citizens for the bright future of the country. And we are the most optimistic society in Europe, even we do not have a lot of challenges ahead.
Today for the independence of Mr. President.
Thank you very much. I'd love to.